Good morning, everyone. My name is Daniel Long. I'm the regular moderator here for the Asian Century Philippines Strategic Studies Institute think tank. Today is October 31, 2025, the last day of October. We hope you're doing well. Thank you to everyone who's watching us on Facebook and YouTube and in the Zoom also after the replay. Please send in your questions. We'll try to get to many of them as we can. Today's forum is entitled China's 15-Year Plan, Impact on Philippine-China Ties, ASEAN Plus 3 Summit, BBM Isolated, and report on the SARA-Singapore OFW visit. So coming from Laurel will be the first to speak, and he will give us a position paper on China's 15-year five-year plan and what it means for diplomatic relations between the Philippines and China. Let us welcome coming from Laurel for his opening remarks.
Magandang umaga po sa lahat. October 20 Katipunan po ng araw na ito. Our first media forum for this month of October because we have been very busy last August, September with out-of-town seminars and conferences on the issues that we are focused on. It was very exhausting and I also suffered some ailments after that. But I'm fully recovered and we're also fully organized again to focus on the major issues that confront the nation. This past 2 weeks, we have witnessed two very significant regional and international summits. The ASEAN Summit in Kuala Lumpur and right now the APEC Summit being held in Busan, South Korea. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, there is not sufficient intelligent discussion of these issues. There is, of course, we are aware that deliberate sowing of confusion in our information sphere in the country. Itatagalo ko na po, talagang sadya po, binubulabog ang ating mundo dito sa loob ng Pilipinas sa informasyon. At pinofocus po sa away daw ng aksyon sa lipunan at ang ating mainstream media. Aking kasalanan sa mga ito dahil po sila ay kontrolado ng mga pinansyal na interes na talagang tatabuhin po ng kasalukuyan ng korap na sistema. Hindi lang po politiko ang korap, kundi ang nagahari ng financial oligarchy ay konsyaba po ng korap na politiko. And siyempre sa likod po niya ng Western financial oligarchy. Kaya po napansin po natin yung mga investigasyon sa corruption sa Kongreso ay inilipat sa lehitimo, pinaniniwalaan ng Blue Ribbon Committee under the independent chairman Senator Marcoleta at inilipat sa ICI, Infrastructure Commission, Investigative Commission on Infrastructure na binisita pa ng American Embassy Representative. So, yun po ay pagbibigay ng petition sa cover-up na ginagawa ng Investigative Commission on Infrastructure na binuo ng buong mga administration para itago po sa pagpatingin ng taong bayan ang mga talagang sa laliga dito sa trillion peso corruption scandals po. But yung dalawang tinutukoy ko pong events in the past 2 weeks are the ASEAN meeting and the APEC meeting. But before that, which both of them will be handled also by now, I would like to focus on a globally significant event, which is China's 15th five-year plan and the Philippine response. Alam po natin na yung 5-year plans ng China ay isang historic success at nagbigay ng tagumpay sa China na sa loob ng 5 taon, yung kanilang ekonomiya ay naging numero 1, pinakamalaking ekonomiya sa mundo sa loob ng 75 taon, 75 years. It took the West 500 years to reach industrialization and the level of work they have today. 500 years. At sa pamamaraan, through the means of colonization, exploitation, oppression, what China achieved, what they have achieved, surpassed the Western economies today after 75 years. Not through conquest, but through trade, technology, and innovation. So we should give due recognition to the Communist Party of China for its astounding success. I have prepared a formal paper on this matter, and so I'll just read through it formally, as is our job as a think tank group. China's 15th five-year plan and the Philippine response. China's periodic, well, let's show our first chart here. China's periodic 5-year economic development plans have become legendary among nations in the world. Since its first in 1952 to 1957 to its 14th for 2021 to 2025. China's 5-year economic plans have guided economic and technological growth, with China the world's largest economy by power purchase parity, and technological growth to make China the world's largest economy within a short span of 75 years, achieving an economic status without war and plunder that took Western world hundreds of years to attain through conquest and oppression. So yan po ang graphic illustration. And in the year 2024, China contributed 30% to global GDP. So it is a major power and a major factor in the global economy, which the Philippines is missing out on. The 14th five-year economic plan in nakaraan po achieved GDP surpassing 133 billion and annual growth averaging 5.5% despite the impositions of various hurdles on it by Trade War 1.0 and Trade War 2.0, forging ahead and contributing 30% to global economic growth, increasing exports from other non-Western nations while benefiting the global South with higher imports from Africa, Latin America, and ASEAN. The global South has been uplifted through China promoting sustainable development, poverty reduction, innovation, and infrastructure cooperation. China's 15th five-year economic plan for economic and social development. That's while the 2025 to 2023 plan is a very detailed set of economic and social goals of the 15th five-year economic plan have clearly set out. It is important to understand that there is a set of fundamental guidelines to be considered. That call on upholding the party's overall leadership, putting the people first, pursuing high-quality development, comprehensively deepening reform, promoting interplay between an efficient market and a well-functioning government, and ensuring both development and security. Now, I'm putting emphasis on this because the 15th five-year plan is so comprehensive, it takes hundreds of pages to go through to read through the entire presentation. But without a guiding party, it will not work. And it has been working only because of the efficient, effective leadership of the Communist Party of China and a unifying value. Yung pagkakaisa po na ay batay po doon sa pangalawang puntos dito. Putting the people first. Unlike America, it puts the financial oligarchy first, the financial class, the capitalist class. Unlike in the Philippines, it's the privileged class first. China is very clear that it puts their people first. Leadership is of utmost importance. Without leadership, nothing can be accomplished. The people as the highest value by the party in the nation in one purpose. Reform is constant to keep pace with the new developments and high quality advances, fulfill rising expectations. Social market system with efficient governance maintains the balanced dynamics of society, while order and social safety is assured. Over and above all these is the crystal clarity of ideological correctness, which is part of leadership. The objectives of China's 15th five-year plan, generally, because there are so many details, I'll just go through some of the crucial ones. The many sources reporting on the objectives of China's 15th five-year plan focus on the technological targets, the major point of contention in China and the Western economies. Hence, many focus on the following: to develop new quality productive forces, significant advancements in high quality development, substantial improvement in scientific and technological self-reliance and strength, fresh breakthroughs in further deepening reform comprehensive. For many of our people, this may sound all too abstract because we're so far down the technological ladder. But this is what is allowing China to forge ahead. These are in particular technologies including clean energy, intelligent connected new energy vehicles, new materials, humanoid robots, advanced manufacturing, AI, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and ensuring supply chain. We will show the next slide. And ensuring supply chains resilience and advancing scientific research and talent cultivation. So that's very vital. The educational system, the guidance of the educational system towards technology and innovation, which is something that Philippines has absolutely nothing of. China is also opening up to foreign talents, giving visa privileges to foreign talents, migrating to China to participate and contribute to China's technological innovation, as well as to become globally competitive in aerospace industries and biotechnology and pharmaceuticals. So the objectives and targets are very clear. The range of China's five-year plan technology and innovation push is simply mind-boggling. So you get a copy of this in your paper. But other aspects of society are also emphasized, such as cultural, ethical progress across society, further improvements in quality of life. Remember, they're very conscious of improving the quality of life of their people. Major new strides in advancing the beautiful China initiative, meaning creating a beautiful, environmentally sound and refreshing China, which creating a sustainable and environmentally friendly nation, reducing pollutants, achieving carbon neutrality, promoting green development, and conserving the ecosystem. Food security through increasing grain output, promoting agricultural innovation and technology. These are among the goals of the five-year plan. China's successful five-year plan injects global confidence. In the turbulent economic and trade time brought about by the tariff and kinetic wars, China's continuing economic growth and continuing push of free trade and open trade provides a hope of stability and continuity of global economic progress. China was the provider for 30% of global economic growth in the period of the 14th five-year plan. It is expected that the 15th five-year economic and social plan will provide the same and even more growth, predictability, and stability in the next 5 years. So I presented this slide from Global Times. While pursuing its own modernization, China is also contributing wisdom and solutions to tackle humanity's development challenges, thereby making the value of development a common language that connects China with the world. But I have a personal note to bring up here. I have already started solarizing my own home, which would eventually reduce my 15,000 peso monthly electricity bill down maybe to 1,000 or 2,000. I wish every Filipino home would be solarized. Why are we allowing our financial elite to control it and profit it, and we are the ones financing the feed-in tariff? But that is the difference between the capitalist system and the socialist system. China has been the provider of low-cost global public good prices to the emerging economies in Asia, ASEAN, Africa, Latin America, and Middle East, which raises the country's productivity and exports to the Chinese market of 800 million new middle-class consumers, which are targeted by the 15th five-year plan for increasing median Chinese incomes to $12,000 per capita. That's over 600,000 pesos, which redounds to greater demand for goods, buying food and services, including outbound tourism, which will energize exporting economies while boosting self-sufficiency. I've tried to identify here areas of the Philippine-China cooperation. There is no denying from any quarter in the Philippines that the Philippines is in serious economic and financial crisis. Philippine national debt, we can flash some of the slides now, has reached a record high of 17.58 trillion pesos as of July 2025. Government, in the midst of its scandal of the century, has precipitated a drop in government revenues, while the overall trade deficit continues to deteriorate as the U.S. tariff war threatens to demolish the Philippine exports to the U.S. with a blanket tariff of 19% for imports to the U.S. A few graphs will demonstrate the crisis in the Philippines. This first graph shows the GDP per capita in Southeast Asia in 2024. You can see the Philippines is number 7, the last among the original ASEAN organizers, and ahead only of Cambodia, small countries, Laos, Timor-Leste, and Myanmar. Yan lang po ang nilalamangan ng Pilipinas sa GDP per capita in Southeast Asia in 2024. That's very difference between, I won't even mention Singapore's per capita income. Malaysia's per capita income is $13,315 per capita per annum. Thailand is $7,841. Indonesia is $5,271. Ang Pilipinas po ay $4,626. This is according to CRC, Southeast Asia Statistics Institute. 2025 will be even worse for the Philippines as we see the chart on the stock market below. So, formally, you will say about the next chart. So you can see again here, Singapore on top with $1.02 billion, Thailand $1.3 billion, Vietnam $1.058 billion, trillion dollars. Indonesia $0.91 billion. Philippines $0.10 billion. 0.1 billion. So that's how far we are in terms of investments. Economic and financial crisis, the Bongbong Marcos government is clearly not able to acknowledge it. The Philippines needs to restore the independent foreign policy, distance from the United States of America and its increase of free trade and geopolitical policies that offer no benefit to the Philippines and instead exploits its trade and security vulnerability. But already we are seeing saner hands steer the country back to restoring balance and normalcy with China. So this is the headline that I wanted to show. Philippine Embassy in Beijing to launch e-visas for Chinese nationals in November, meeting starting tomorrow. I'll just want the slide. Joshua is absent from this. The next slide, Joshua. Next slide. The November 2025 relaunching of the e-visa for Chinese visitors to the Philippines is a signal that conscientious government officials who recognize the urgency of reviving economic ties are moving to re-establish cooperation. There is also an initiative emanating from the same department moving to establish talks between the Chinese Coast Guard and the Philippine Coast Guard for renewed cooperation and address maritime issues. The diplomatic tools may even open cooperation for the Philippines to benefit from becoming China boom from its 15th five-year economic and social development plan. Some of the areas where Philippine-China cooperation is resumed, but I'm highlighting it with this image of China announcing that Chinese scientists have created rice that grows in seawater, potentially feeding 200 million more people by 2030. Now, this is something that the Philippines can really benefit from. I say, I put it here. In agriculture, China has developed brackish water rice breeds that have shown to yield up to 4.6 tons per hectare. This is something the Philippines can take advantage of and benefit tremendously from, being the largest rice importing country in the world. Digital and ICT, information communication technology, the Philippines and China have developed existing MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding on these two technological areas. Infrastructure, the resumption of the long-delayed essential transportation infrastructure to promote trade and commerce of the 1,100-kilometer Mindanao circumference of rail. The PNR long-haul South Luzon project, restoration of funding for the Dark Subic Railway, among others, which the present Department of Transportation is struggling to find funds for after canceling China funds. In sustainable development, climate solutions and renewable energy, as well as green transition, China is now the world's leader in solar, wind, and other renewable energy. It has pioneered in small modular nuclear power and thorium nuclear reactors. Thorium, an element which the Philippines possesses. Tourism. This is an area that can spur immediate infusion of much needed balance into the Philippine economy, but requires over and above the e-visa, the re-establishment of goodwill and restoration of mutual respect and amity between two people. These are just some of the areas of cooperation from the coming China boom arising from its 15th five-year economic and social development plan. I will just respond to questions after all the presentations are made. So I will yield my place to Lamino or Adolfo.